Well, I don't know if you're like me and you've got tons of CDs or old DVDs that you don't want. Now, these are the old CDs that we used to use to burn stuff on and transfer around, but I don't even have a CD burner anymore, so I want to use them for something. So I'm going to make a picture. I've drawn myself a little peacock here, and it's going to go inside my light box like that. So that's why I've drawn a little frame around it. It was really easy. All I did was drew some shapes and numbered them up. And the reason I've numbered them is because I'm going to take a photograph of this with my iPad, so I know once I've cut these out where they all go, because if not, I will have no idea. All I've got to do is take a quick photo. Oh, look, I keep missing, I've missed out so many. And now I'm going to know exactly where they go. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut these out, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to use it and get some great texture and also that lovely holographic look on my picture. For this next stage, all you need to do is take your cutout, turn your CD over so the silver side is showing, not the blue, and then mirror that so your number is facing down, and then draw around it. Then what I did was, once I drawed around it like that, I looked what number it is. It's number 16, and I know then what number that is. And I'll go around and I put as many as I can on here. I'm using a permanent marker pen so it doesn't rub off, and that isn't going to show at the end anyway, so you're not got any problems with that. And then the next bit is like magic. And then once you've got them all labelled up like that and outlined, what I've been doing is going over on a mediumist type of heat and just heating this CD up using my heat gun. If you haven't got one where you can decide what sort of heat you want, then what you can use is a hairdryer, because that'll heat that up. And we're only heating this up to make it a little bit easier to cut these out. Now this will get warm, so be careful, and this just makes it a little bit easier to cut them out. Now if you get some that separate, I bet I won't in this one, but if you do, don't worry, keep both bits. Actually, I will see if I can separate that one to show you. So look, sometimes they separate, so you get the two bits. Now what I would suggest you do is keep both bits together like that, and then turn it over so the blue is shining. And you'll see why in a second. They won't be separate once we've finished. Cut them all out. Now don't work on your cutting mat, because the next stage is going to involve heat, and your cutting mat just doesn't like heat, and it'll warp it and ruin it. Ask me how I know. Go on, ask me. I know, because I did it. Now we've got those cut out, what you want to do is get hold of your heat gun, and you want to turn it up, let it heat up a little bit first before you do this next stage. And this is why you won't need to worry if you've got two separate pieces, because they will fuse together at this stage. The other thing is work in a very well ventilated area, because you can smell like not burning plastic but melting plastic. This will also get rid of any of the like sharp, rough edges. And all I did was I go over it like this, heat it up until it starts to make a nice pattern. You can see it's starting to make a little bit of a pattern now where it's bubbling, and I'm quite happy with that one. And then I just move on to the next one. And I found is once it starts to make the little pattern, if you lift away and move away, it will continue to lift, and you get a slightly bigger shapes. So for instance, on that one, I'm going to move now away, and now that should continue. These do get hot, by the way, so they don't stay hot for long. And then once they're done, they do cool off quite quickly. All I've done is then put them all together in an area, and you've still got the numbers written underneath so you know where to put them next. So that's them all done. And as you can see, they're all looking really pretty. And they've still got some of that holographicness stuck for themselves. They're lovely and cool now. And I want to build this inside this light box. So I'm just going to quickly take this apart and move these bits so they're somewhere safe. And now I'm going to paint this with something that's actually going to contrast quite well against those colours. And I'm painting this with a dreamy lemon yellow from Arteza, and it's their iridescent colours. And what I'm doing is I'm making sure all my brush strokes are going in that sort of direction, because I want it to kind of look like a sunburst that's a little bit iridescent. And then when it dries, you'll brush strokes should be there. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with that, how that's done. And now I'm going to leave that to dry, and then I'll show you how I'm going to put it together. This is dry enough now for me to carry on, and you can see now that has got an iridescence to it, and it's all going off on the sides like that. And what I want to do is make sure I place my bird in the right place, and I've cut out on my cricket in vinyl the bird because I didn't want that to be 3D. If I line that up there, I can do that. Yeah, I think about there. Looks good. I'll just push that down, gently pull that back because I don't want to pull any of that paint off with this transfer tape. Although this is the tech wrap stuff and it's brilliant. It really does work well. Now we've got that on there, I can go over that with my fingers. And that's on there beautifully. Look at that. That's really nice. And almost holographic itself. So this is where I need to look at my picture on here to determine which ones go where. And all I need to do is now find the ones that I want. I'm going to turn them all over so I can see the numbers easily. And it would make sense, I suppose, to put them in numerical order. But I ain't got no time for that, malarkey. And the first one is going to go there. Now, you can glue these straight onto here, or you could raise them up and make them look a little bit more 3D. So you can lift them up like that, so you've got a sticky pad underneath it. And I quite like that. I think that's how I'm going to do mine. And I'm going to be using the edges of my sticky pads where I take my larger ones out, because I'm not wasting that. And got no extra money to be wasting that. Massive thank you to everyone that got me a coffee last month as well. It honestly really is appreciated. And it's people that buy me coffees that actually allow me to make videos and keep living the dream that I'm living. I think those ones might be a bit thick, so I'm going to try and go for some thinner ones, and I've got some thinner ones here, so I'm going to cut those up in half so they're not quite as raised off. Or you could have them at different heights. Well, that's definitely got to go back there now, isn't it? Yeah, I like that better. So all I need to do now is follow my plan here on my iPad, tell me which letter goes where, and arrange them on there, and then I'll show you what it looks like. And I'm also show you a couple of other things that you can make as well using this technique. But that's all finished now and put in its box. I love the way that's come out. You can still see the holographic. It's very, very shiny, and those colours come through really well. I do like the background as well. Let me know what your thoughts are on that background. Just an easy project to use some of your old CDs up that will brighten up any room. And the other thing you can do is using exactly the same technique. You could just make some earrings with it as well. These are really quick to make, any shape that you want. All you do is add a few jump rings to them, some earring backs, and you've got some costume earrings there. Really simple, again, to make. Same technique. If you've enjoyed this video, then be sure to boot that like button. It really helps me to get my videos out there. And hit that subscribe button as well so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Be sure to check out the Upcycle one that's coming out now, right here. Don't miss out on that one. It's a great project. I'm sure you'll love it. If you'd like to see me do more things with CDs, there's lots of other things that we can do with them as well. And they don't have to be this colour. Then let me know that in the comments below. Take care. Enjoy your crafting. Bye.